Each night, while most of the other engines are asleep, 3 trains set off into the night, pulling goods and luggage from point A to point B. There is the mail train that Percy usually pulls. Thomas helps him when the loads are too heavy for him to handle alone. The midnight goods train, which departs latest from Knapford Yards, runs all the way to Barrow Furnace. Donald, Douglas, Boko, Niles, or Derek usually take these trains. And lastly, shipments of fish usually come into Knapford Harbor at the beginning of the night. They're loaded into crates and put into vans, headed for shops and towns on both Sodor and the mainland. Over time, while the men are busy bustling about loading the fish on the quay, they affectionately refer to the train as the Flying Kipper. Henry the Green Engine is the one who usually takes the train, and he wouldn't want it any other way. He loves rushing through the fresh, cold night air and seeing the beautiful sunrise as he rushes about the line. If Henry is away or ill, other engines like Molly or Cameron would take over the job. Some engines, such as James, despise the smell of the fish, while other engines don't mind it and take in the wonderful night sky. One night, Henry was taking the Kipper as usual. He had to stop at an invisible signal at Wellsworth as the points up ahead were jammed. "Oh, come on now," he groaned. "We were going so nicely, too." "Steady on, old boy," comforted his driver. "We'll be away soon." At last the signal switched to green and Henry departed, eager to make up for the lost time. Henry quickly picked up speed. They were nearing the junction when... come along, quickly, quickly." "Oh! Why are we on the branch line? What is the meaning of this? I thought the points were fixed." "Well, clearly they weren't, and perhaps the signalman didn't check them properly," said the driver. "Should we back up and wait?" asked the fireman. "Can't. There's still the midnight goods due through soon. We'll have to go on to the next station and explain there." "Despicable," muttered Henry, but as he couldn't do anything about the situation, he went on to the next station. "Ah, I see," the signalman observed. "Well, you know the midnight goods has been held up due to the points as well, so it'd be a mini traffic jam if you went back to the junction. I'll phone up to Brendam and have them be ready for you to go there. Lorries or boats could take on the Kipper." Henry's crew told Henry the new information. "Oh, great, have the Kipper being taken on by lorries. What a life." Once he was allowed to proceed, he snorted off. When he reached the docks, he left the vans in the siding and went to rest. "Ahoy there, matey," greeted Salty. "What be bringing ye down here?" "Well, long story short, there was a point failure at the junction." "Ah, I see. Well, you can sleep here for tonight." "Thank you. That'd be a nice way to end the day." Just as Henry was backing into the sheds, he and Salty heard a familiar pair of whistles. The whistles, of course, belonged to Bill and Ben. "Hello, what brings you two down here to the dockside?" "Well, I swear I heard a monster on its heavy wheels puffing down the branch, and Bill claims that it was a green too." Henry grunted. "But really, we had to do some late shunting at the clay pits, and were told to come down here so we could shunt in the morning." "Ah, I see. Well, there'll be plenty room here." So the twins, Henry, and Salty all peacefully went to sleep. The next morning, Henry was being filled with coal when the twins came up right beside him. "So, Henry, what were you doing at the docks anyway?" "I didn't know the Kipper stopped here." "Well, it's a bit of a long story." And so Henry explained the point failure that had eventually caused him to end up at the docks. "At least there wasn't a crash this time." This gave the twins a cheeky idea. "You know, Henry," said Bill slyly, "have you ever thought about how many mishaps you've had with the Kipper?" "Yeah," added Ben. "First you slammed into another goods train." "Well, yeah. And then you went swimming with the fishes." "I'd rather forget about that." "And didn't Duck slam into the back of the Kipper that one time?" "That wasn't my fault." "Not to mention James's mishaps with the Kipper too." Seems pretty sus to me. Don't you think so, Bill?" "Agreed. You better watch out, Henry. I think you've been dealing with a jinxed train." What absolute rubbish, Henry retorted. This island's had hundreds of accidents happen on trains, and the Kipper's no exception. All right, Henry, but none of the other night trains have had accidents, and the twins scurried away, laughing. They're not completely wrong. What if the Kipper is jinxed? No, it's not. What am I saying? I shouldn't waste time listening to nonsense like that. After a long next day filled with hard work, Henry was preparing to take the Kipper from the harbor. Throughout the day, he couldn't stop thinking about the mishaps of the Kipper he had been involved with. I must be extra careful tonight. A few minutes later, he coupled up to the train. At Edward Station, Boko was waiting with 3 more vans. They had been delivered to the docks and were to be added on here to continue their journey down the main line. Henry trundled down the line. He was being safe, but he wasn't going as fast as he should have been. What's up, Henry? We need to stay on time. I'm going as fast as I can. Soon, Henry arrived at Wellsworth. Evening, Henry. Good evening, Boko. I take it these vans are for me? Indeed, and, pardon me, but aren't you a bit behind schedule? Oh, I'll make up the time. The vans were arranged onto the train, and Henry huffed cautiously away. This time, he actually went faster as he was charging the hill. Come on, he grunted, and jerked the train forward. This had caused an old coupling between the last van and brake van to weaken. Henry reached the top of the hill with no issues, but as the last vans reached the top, the coupling snapped and the brake van began to roll downhill, chasing the train. The guard tried to brake, but the brake van was already gaining speed. Then there was trouble. Henry stopped at another non-existent signal, and then it happened. Luckily, no one was hurt, but it was a huge mess. Oh, Bill and Ben will never let me hear the end of this. Never mind, comforted the fireman. The guard's all right, and the driver's gone to the next station to raise the alarm. The next morning, the wreckage was cleared away. Henry was talking to Boko about the accident when the twins came peeping up. Oh dear, Henry, that's bad luck. Silly, that's not bad luck. That's the sign of a jinxed train. I believe you two have work elsewhere. Good luck, Henry. Goodbye. My apologies about them, Henry. They're tricky ones. No, it's fine. They'll get theirs eventually. The next evening, the dock manager spoke to Bill and Ben. I need you two to take some extra vans to Wellsworth for the midnight goods tonight. Can you two do that for me?
Yes, sir.
Right, good day. Well, I think we both know that I'm taking it. Think again, Bill. I'm better suited for the job. Not. R2. Not. R2. Shall we both take it? That seems fair. Let's go. The twins added the brake van at the front, then the trucks, and then pushed them out of the docks. They were in this format as it would be easier to shunt the train onto the midnight goods when they arrived. They were chuffing smoothly down the branch line when they noticed something near the line. A suspicious-looking lorry was driving a little recklessly. All right, here we go. Try and catch me, steamers, he growled and he raced off. So the twins responded with a will and chased after him. They didn't know that at the top of the upcoming hill, there was gravel and rocks laying over the line. They had been dropped accidentally by a lorry earlier that day. Puffing a little too fast, they rumbled over them, causing the coupling between Bill and the trucks to break. What the? Oh no! Oh yes! Someone help! Wait, come back, you trucks! They were going too fast for the brake hand to control. Bill and Ben were gaining, but only just. Then came the junction, and who else besides Henry was approaching it with the Kipper? What the? Oh my god! It was a terrible mess. Henry had hit the train very hard, and although the guard jumped out, it was still quite severe. Holy crap, I survived that. Alright, I want to thank God and Jesus for letting me live here. Oh, me. Oh, my. Henry, are you okay? I've been better, but I'm fine nonetheless. The next morning, Sir Topham Hatt surveyed the damage. Dear, oh dear, Henry, are you sure you're all right? Oh, I'm fine, sir. Just a bit of damage, that's all. Well, you'll be in the steamworks for a short while. Yay. And I hope you two can explain this. Well, you see, sir, the thing is, very dark, and we couldn't see. That is to say, the coupling broke, and well, it wasn't our fault, sir. Honest, a lorry distracted us and poured rocks into the line, breaking the coupling. Yeah, and then after that, he vanished. Wait a minute. Did you say a lorry did that? Yes, sir. Then I suppose you two have gotten us one step closer to finding those lorries. They've been causing lots of trouble recently. Just ask the Scarlobi railway engines. But, next time, don't try and cause a crash. So much for a jinx Kipper, eh, Bill and Ben? The twins smiled. We're sorry for what we said to you about the Kipper. Yeah, it's not jinxed at all. But you know what is jinxed, Ben? Yeah? The amount of accidents Henry's had in general. All three engines laughed, knowing that they had all learned from this experience and were able to find something to laugh about it. Don't say racist crap on Twitter.com, or me and Bert will eat your liver. We don't mess around. Oh, heck no, I'm out of here.